is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Director of Football, Non-League to Legend, South American edition. Is that racist? I don't think so. As you can see, Argentina is the first country that have come up for offering me the opportunity to take over at a club. I have been offered international jobs since the World Cup finished. Was it France, Holland, Spain, Portugal, I want to say, and Poland. All offered, or no, was it? Maybe it wasn't Portugal, it might have been Croatia. Anyway, got offered a bunch of international jobs. I said no to all of them. I got offered the Real Madrid job, AC Milan, Barcelona. I said no to all of them because I have decided, like I said, we're not going to continue in Europe. So we are moving to Argentina. These are the clubs that are left. There was every single top side in Argentina, bar Boca Juniors, didn't have a manager. So I basically feasted on what club I wanted. We are still, I don't know if that's going to show anything, so just looking to see is there anything. Celtic offered me the job as well, actually. I just realised because I saw Celtic triumphant Old Firm Derby. We are going to have a quick look at Liverpool because they have been quite busy in the stuff's been coming up saying there's an awful lot of players on the way out. So they brought in Paul Facuda from Crystal Palace. Had a good season last year in the Championship. Came in just before I left, and then Graham Watson came in just before I left. Looked like Graham Watson looks like a decent player. Facuda, Malcolm Hunt's gone on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. Scott Graham, send him out on loan again. That's awful. Bobby Firmino got released, which is weird. It's, in tomorrow they're playing his testimonial again, Hoffenheim, which is interesting. But yeah, we, like I said, have been going around Argentina, having a look to see what's going on, what's available to us. We are a 4-star, up here, we're a 4-star reputation manager. We did have interviews with River Plate and Independiente. I shouldn't take that job. Yeah, we're taking the job at River Plate. So we are dropping from 180k a week to 19,000. They did both clubs. I had an interview with Independiente and Buenos Aires, River Plate Buenos Aires, where they were saying, oh, you don't speak the language, and I was like, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal. And then, so they were talking about how I controversy trying to keep the backroom staff or the players happy, and how I resigned several times from jobs, and no, that's never happened. I've literally gone, if I've left a job, it's because another job I was offered another position. So I've never actually, apart from Liverpool, I've never actually walked away from a club, without having something backed up. So we are joining River Plate. 19k a week. I actually don't know how they did in their first league game. 2-2. Okay. And now we have to play the Copa Libertadores. Second round, leg 1 against Nacional of Uruguay. But yeah, Boca Juniors was a club I would have liked to Where the holders is it? Yeah, this is the main one. World Cup. Bah, bah. England won it. Trent Alexander-Arnold was the joint top scorer for a while, which I thought was crazy. But yeah, England won the World Cup. He ended up joint third with Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, Croatia lost to England in the final. Brazil beat Italy in the third place playoff. In the semi-finals, yeah, you know, the quarter-final, there was Congo. Congo knocked out so many countries. Let's see, Turkey got knocked out in their group. Then they knocked out Portugal and Colombia before losing to Brazil. So Congo had a fantastic tournament. Other than that, that's not much. Yeah. So we're going to jump ahead and take over at River Plate. 125 year history now. We're 125 years old. And just a couple of people out on loan. We've one guy out on loan to Mets. I don't think we have any backroom staff. I'll sort all that out in a minute. Who's unhappy? Ezekiel Centurion. A goalkeeper who looks... Yeah. Wow, he's been at the club a long time without playing. And he's only unhappy now. And Tomas Andrade went by Club Olimpio. He played for Bournemouth. Right, he was on loan at Bournemouth, but didn't play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the staff. Yeah, we don't have any. We've 2 doctors. Fantastic. So I'm going to have to bring in a director of football, obviously. And that's probably the most important. A director of football and maybe like do it. I really didn't think this one through. Yeah, we bring in a director of football and we shall see what goes on from there. But I'm going to do the meetings and all that. So I'll see you guys in just a second. And we can have a look at the squad and see what we have, what's on offer to us. Who we can sign, or what positions we're struggling with. What setup we're going to use. Are we going to continue with the control brother, or are we going to change? So just 2 seconds, guys, and we can look at that together. Alright, fellas, here we are. First game as River Plate manager. We still don't have an assistant, still don't have a director of football. So we are going in blind. This is the squad I've picked. It has taken a little bit of time I've gone through and I've basically looked at every player and had a look to see what they're capable of, really. I did not realise that Rollheiser was quite so tired. Oh, excuse me. We do have Versace back. Anyone who was here for the Arsenal days will remember Versace. Fantastic player. Absolutely love him. He is back. There's a lot of players not registered. It's very frustrating because a good few of these, like Suarez, seems to be a decent defender. Yeah, actually, I don't know. I've gone upstairs and I've had dinner since I picked this team. Like Beltran, he's a good option. He's not registered. He's also listed. Don't know why, but I'm just going to leave it. We do have a good few listed players like Kahneman and Valentini, who's their only the only left back, and Sarah Fior. They're all listed as well. So for this game, we are going to go with Batala in goal, Lopez and Valentini as our wingbacks, Martinez, Quartara and Kahneman as our centre backs, Rodriguez and Luna as the central midfield pair, Versace, Sarrafiore, Perez Ibanez and Borre up front. I think he's the best option. I can't remember now, to be honest. Was Bellini? He's probably... I don't know. I obviously had reason. The only issue I have is Kahneman has terrible pace and acceleration. Mario Milito is a player I was looking at. Maybe... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to play Mario Milito. We rely too heavily on pace at the back to be playing the new Danny Ward, the Argentinian Danny Ward. So this is what we're going to play the first game against Nacional with. We're going into this blind. I have no idea. Come on, lads. Okay, no. How about a little bit of passion? The team talk ahead, or the team talk ahead with them, they did seem pretty up for it. So I'm going to say we're going to be fine, but I don't know. The only reason I'd like to have an assistant manager is just so I don't have to go through all this. Might actually press the defenders and the DMs. No, not never. Always. Especially I can't wait to get started. The reserves and the under 20s, I think it is, seem to have a lot of Versace's already picked up a knock. Bruce tight, he's fine. A lot of good players, but it is such a bloated team. Oh, Versace almost scored the first goal for us. Yeah, it's a huge squad. Like the reserves, especially. There is so many players in the reserve team, and there is so many players. Well, not as many in the under 20. It's the under 20s. There's not as many in the under 20s, but it is jam packed. There is so many players. So we are going to be looking to shift a few of them on. A lot of them are on quite high wages as well, which I find strange. I think when we joined, I had 5 million and 1.8 million in. It was hardly that much, was it? Yeah, we had like 1.1 million wage budget. I did bring up the wage budget a small bit, and just get rid of the transfer budget because we don't really have anything we can spend the money on. So the transfer window was closed in 4 days, I think it is. The one player I think that's probably going to make more appearances than maybe the guys ahead of him is Palacios, because I know from other saves that he can be a fantastic playmaker. I just don't know right now what is kind of the best that we have. Do Do we want to risk Versace for... Do we have a left winger on the bench? Belloni. You 9 crossing, so if I bring you on, you're going to be inside forward. Good. Rollheiser, I know you're good, but I'd prefer to bring you on the 16 crossing. Yeah. Versace is going to play pretty much every game that he's going to play every game he's fit this season. He is a player I adored at Arsenal. I think it was just purely that we brought in Sinan Kayhan was the only reason he lost out, because he was one of the best midfielders in the world. So I couldn't justify playing Versace ahead of him when we had such a good winger who I turned into an inside forward and has done nothing since I left. Speaking of doing nothing, my defenders were doing nothing. Bore is not playing well, so we are going to bring Belloni on. Another player as well is Zuccolini. He's a good player. He's a DM / right back, so he's not really going to fit in too much into what we're doing unless I play him at right back, and he's a decent right back, but not amazing of a right back. Palacios, first thing we see him do is take a free kick, just put it over. I don't want us to draw. We've had 18 shots, but only 6 on target. 21 shots, 7 on target. We are going to draw this game, and we've absolutely dominated the entire game. Unless Sanchez can score. Oh, thank God he didn't. Martinez, Quartara. No, it's Quarta, not Quartara. It's going to take some getting used to for all these names. Yeah, they weren't good enough. It really is a game we should have been winning. I am going to give out to Bore. Alright, so 0 could have been worse. Versace's out for 7 days. Oogie. So we'll have a look and see. We're going to... Yeah, we come back for the Nacional San Lorenzo games. Because we've changed clubs. I don't really want to do too long of an episode. But yeah, we've decent players in the team. Like, there's a lot of transfer listed players, and I don't want to go taking it. I might just take everyone off the transfer list and then decide afterwards what we're going to do. Because, like I said, we have. Actually, it's the 7th. I thought it closed on the 8th. So we have until the 7th to bring in players if we so wish. As it stands, maybe a better striker, but then again, I don't know. Like, Beltran looks like he'd be probably the best of the strikers we do have. So it's just a case really of figuring out what we're going to do. So yeah, like I said, we're going to be back for the second leg of the game against Nacional, and we play San Lorenzo. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more River Plate, and hopefully we can survive. Hopefully we can win the Copa Libertadores in our first season, and then that would mean swapping to a different continent, depending on how that goes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.